Hey, quickly,
Got
you see the 3 chains? You see them? I'm doing 3, sometimes I do 4, yeah? The necessary always has to occur. Where do I get my premium jewelry from? Take a guess. You already know. If you've been here before, then you know it's Crafted London. If you don't, then you know now. Crafted London is the best place to get the premium. I've been telling you this. Like, listen, I know that obviously summertime's nearly done and whatnot, but this outfit wouldn't bang if I didn't have these. I would look like a flipping unseasoned chicken. It would be mad for me, bro. It would be mad for me. You can go and get all different types of stuff. Rings, jewelry. Like, you can go and do the Craig Mitch thing. You know what I mean? Go and do the pearls and that. Are you a pearls man?
I was going to get pearls before all these niggas.
Oh, you told me. Yeah.
Come on.
You can go and get pearls, though. Go and jump on that wave. Go and get 15% off. Hcpod is the promo code, yeah? It is active now. Go and get 15% off. Style it the way that you want to style it. Come back to us and let us know. Go on. Yeah? Enjoy the pod. Love. When he's doing the pop stuff, it's like he latches into this thing that they want him to be as his default. Do you get what I'm saying?
100%.
He's a kid, you know what I mean? Same with Timberlake, really. Obviously, kid, whatnot, grew up in the limelight a little bit, whatever. But you know what? They're happy when they're black.
Have you seen, honestly, Justin Bieber, there needs to be a study on this guy.
Yeah.
I've never seen a more motionless person when they're performing than Justin Bieber. He looks genuinely disappointed with everything.
Yeah. He looks pissed off, bro. He don't look happy at all.
At all. What's that song that I think DJ Khaled and Drake got? Was it Pop Star or Pop Star or Pop something?
That was that when he was in the video.
And he's playing the role of Drake, I guess, in the video, or just Justin Bieber just saying his bars. Bro, don't tell me he's trying to concentrate on making sure the lyrics ain't like he ain't getting it wrong. He looks miserable.
Yeah.
So, but then I've seen him doing confident with Chance the Rapper. He looks happy.
He looks happy.
Black music.
Wait, so you're saying that in that part he wasn't black?
Nah, because it's like
when he was doing the DJ Khaled thing.
Nah, man.
He weren't black then.
Nah, that's
he was forcing his whiteness.
That's more caramel. And it's like, and it's more like mixed race, but I grew up with a white mum.
I hear that. In Essex.
Essex, you know what I'm saying? So like, you might not be able to say nigger. You might just say nig.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So
he grew up in Gray's End.
Gray's End, you know where I'm coming from? He eats pork. It's what it is.
I hear it still.
But Justin Timberlake, 100%. When he links up with Timberland and they do something a little bit more ethnocentric, I feel like he's a happier man in the pose. Apart from NSYNC
and
days.
Pharrell, huh?
And for.
When he's with Pharrell.
When he's Pharrell as well, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Happier, but apart from that,
yeah, he seems that they're in their back. They're musically in their bag. Then, like that project, there was a good one still, and the one before that. I don't know what happened after that, but he's multifaceted, isn't it? He can just do bare things, and he can just be wherever he wants to be when he wants to be. He does seem a lot more happier than Bieber though, as a whole.
Timberlake,
yeah,
1,000,000%, 1,000,000%. But when he started wearing all of those. What's them jackets them girls wear when they want to start doing PR? Them long sort of beige jackets. When I see and like a white t-shirt with some blue jeans, that's like the PR look. Oh, I do PR, all right. So when I see Justin Timberlake doing that stuff, yeah, I'm like, nah, man. Come back to the tracksuits and you know what I'm saying, Michael Jackson attire, man. Just you know, unwind.
Nike tracksuit. By the way, honourable shout out to Cleo Soul.
Oh,
I forgot to mention this last week. Yeah, it was Cleo Soul Day last week, but it still is. She got a project called Heaven. Sensational. Very, very good. Again, still in her bag. Honourable shout out to Cleo every time. And on the flip side of that, bro, I'm not even going to lie. I was on my way here listening to this Heady and Trap Tape. It is absolutely incredible, bro.
Bro, I won't lie to you. I was listening to it yesterday in the calf. I won't say what type of calf. But we're in the calf. And I'm being real with you. I don't even play drill that much.
No.
Code.
Yeah. Like, I'm not the drill connoisseur. Nah. I just like what I like. But, though, the funny thing is that even though I'm not that, there's just certain artists that I just always like. I've always liked Trap. I've always listened to Trap. I've always liked him. I play a lot of the stuff in the gym as well. That's why I listen to that kind of vibe. But the genre as a whole, I don't sit and listen to the genre as a whole on a super regular basis. I understand it. I know what's going on. I pay attention to what's going on because of it's element of the culture and whatnot. And I like to see what people are doing. I like to know what the youths them like and all of these type of stuff.
Growth.
Trap for me, I've always just thought was hard. I've always liked that Heady has been quite experimental with his projects and that too. So I've always respected him and rated him. But them two coming together and doing their thing, sensational, bro. And I would love to see like more artists just linking up together, bro.
Collaboration projects.
More collaboration projects. Apparently there's Fredo and Nines that are apparently linking to
That's confirmed. That's confirmed.
Yeah. Obviously, we already had Boost and Tef. That already came out.
That
hard.
was good.
Well, I want to see more. I want to see some of the Gallum. I want to see one of the man them linking up with the Gallum as well. I'd love to see Kano and Sims.
Oh, project.
I'd like to see that.
I would like to see personally, because for the day ones, I want to see Kano and Gets. It's an overdue project, and I just think with special features from D-Double throughout sometimes.
Yes.
I think that's fair.
Yes.
You're not doing Top Boy no more. Yes. You have more time on your hands. I saw the Land Rover advert. Kano, you're sensational.
Yes.
I see you in Burberry. Let's link up with
Right.
Gets. That feels right. For me,
Right.
that feels right.
Yeah.
Even Chip Skeppy and Young Ads had their take.
Yeah. What was that? That was 2020 though, innit? That was quite a while. Still, that was not bad.
But
Yeah, that was
again, it happens. Let's just make it more frequent.
Yeah,
You know where I'm
man.
coming from.
Like, this year, towards the end of the year should be the year where they just play around with that. You know what? Come, let's link up. It's the end of the year. It's coming up to the end of the year. 4, 5 songs, 6, 7 songs. You know what I mean? Let's
Link up.
just, go in the studio. Find one producer that you rate.
And stay over there.
Stay there.
And just...
So it's like it's the two artists and the producer.
Who else would I want to see link up?
I would like to see. Wait, let me just go because
Who though would I like to link up?
Oh, I would like to see.
Chip and
I would
Yoga?
like to see A2 and Nux, or
Ooh!
A2 and Nux, or
A2 and Children of Zeus. That's
That is crazy.
that's a mad one.
Crazy.
That's a mad one.
EA Sports said younger than Chip, but I told him like that's not gonna
never
work.
said that.
But I heard you might
Younger
under your
than
breath.
Chip. Is it? Yeah.
Yeah, fam, show some
Are you
respect to my
saying
people.
Stormzy and Chip, bruv? You're fucking mad.
Some say, brother,
What's wrong with you?
Don't do that, fam.
Don't do
Some
that,
respect
man.
on my people them's name.
Come on, my
I need
G.
an ICV. That's what I would.
But A2, listen, that's a what a.
Do you know what I'd like as well?
Go on.
I'd like to see. Wait, hold on. Wait, 1 second. Okay, I would like to see. It's gonna be a bit of a light one. I'd like to see Dave and Benjamin AD.
Wow. Wow.
Dave and Benjamin AD together.
I'm not totally against that. I think that is a sensational project.
I'd like
ain't
to
even
see
heard
something
it.
like that.
I like the intro already.
Yeah.
I like the intro. It feels right.
Yeah, it feels exactly.
It feels right.
I'd like to see young ads with someone still. I don't know who though.
Go left with it. Because I like the way you went left. I did not see the Benjamin AD collab coming. That is how you want it to...
Looking at Kate Trinada.
I am.
Kate Trinada.
I'm looking at.
That's how
Hey, he's got Kate Trinada on the screen. He's got Kate Trinada on the screen, but I don't know who would I put with Kate Trinada if I was gonna if there was a collab with him and
if Kate Trinada messaged you today and said you should.
it would be Kate Trinada and Sims probably then. I feel like that probably feels a little right. Nah, it would be a singer.
A singer, man, more with Kate Trinada.
Cleo?
That would work.
Honestly,
That would work.
that would be crazy.
That would bang.
That would be crazy. I'd want to see Cleo and FKJ, but that's just a personal
Oh yeah,
favorite.
that would be hard.
Because it's a very melodic, soft sounds. And
Yeah.
I can't lie, Cleo Soul makes me cry. I mean, Cleo Soul makes me miss my next girlfriend.
Oh yeah. I'd like to see Louis Ray with someone.
Ooh!
I was thinking Kate Trinada and Weston actually, if I'm being honest.
I think that could work.
That's a very
Kate Trinada and
interesting
Weston.
mix. Why can't they just start? Yeah! I like these mixes.
Louis Ray with someone I think would be good. I don't know who though.
Who would I want to hear Louis Ray rapping back to back
UK?
with? UK wise. I would like to hear Louis Ray and Larry June.
Oh my god, bro.
That would be crazy.
That's perfect.
That's crazy.
That's perfect. That's perfect.
That's crazy for
Louis
me.
Ray and Larry June is perfect.
That's crazy.
I think out of all of the ones that we've mentioned, that's probably the most perfect one. You know,
Hey,
that
David,
makes
let's
a
make it
lot
happen.
of sense.
David Ali, let's make it happen.
That makes a lot of sense. You know.
Let's make it happen. Let's make it happen. He links up with Nux.
Yeah. Who would you have house with?
I was thinking about that as well, but I just feel I don't have a clue. That man is just.
I'd leave him alone.
But the thing is, he used to do such good work in Mo Stack, you know.
Yeah, that would be a good one still.
But obviously, I don't think they talk no more. So.
Oh, don't they?
Yeah, I saw something online about it. It's not like I know anything behind the scenes. I genuinely saw something online. So that because they made some
politics.
It's politics. No, I wasn't.
What about you, lot? What would you say? Who would you put? Like, who would you put with someone? Like, what type of collaboration would you like to see? Because there's some out there. There's some out there, and there's some that definitely could work, and some that are so realistic in that as well. Yeah, man. Let me know. Anyway, Pa, how are you, man, bro?
I'm good, you know. Out here.
Giving thanks.
PSG Filthy linked up Wednesday.
Yeah, how was that?
Amazing. Done a collaboration with Paris Saint-Germain in the store.
Yeah.
Shout out Chris, my G that came down. I didn't realize Chris.
Wait, what was it about? What was it about? Like, what was going on?
So basically, Paris Saint-Germain have released their new jersey. They're in the Champions League, so I think they've got a special jersey for the Champions League, and they just needed maybe an organic, real collaboration with someone that has good interaction. So they called the gods, aka
Necessary.
Fellas. It feels right. And yeah, we sorted it out. We done an in-store draft. Yeah, we done a live draft in store. I had the best team, but you'll find out next week Wednesday.
It's all filmed in that, yeah.
Yeah, it's all filmed. I can't lie to you. There ain't no better feeling than being in them situations with your people. Literally, I looked around, just saw friends, and we're all filming, collecting a check.
Strongly.
Courtesy of Paris Saint-Germain. So
Tell a
this
story.
just feels right to me. Do you know where I'm coming from? And it was a good night. Good night.
Yeah, man. Big up the team.
How about you?
Good.
Yeah?
Good. Can't complain. Ambient Slow Jam sold in 1 minute.
I heard it was 27 seconds, but this is just the rumours I'm hearing.
Crazy.
Does it still because it always sells out to me, like I know it's going to happen. Is it still quite overwhelming for you?
Massively.
That's incredible.
Massively. But you know what though? My brain works in a different kind of way. Because the anticipation was that it was going to sell out kind of quickly, yeah? Because we could tell by the how much people were signing up for the reminder. So what we do is we say, you know, if the tickets come out on this day, so if you want the ticket link on the time that it drops, then just click on this remind me thing. So we knew the number of people that were trying to do that. But I thought that if anything, it might sell out in a day, which would still be incredible, yeah? But when it sold out that quick, obviously I was happy about it. But then there was another side where I was saying to myself, hold on, wait 1 second. Is this fair?
What do you mean?
I don't know. This is where my mind went. I was like, it sold out so quickly. There's so many people that I know that were trying to buy tickets and that wanted to go, and it was birthdays and it's this and it's that and whatever. And it's like, I needed to just go over this in my head. Have we done this in a fair way? And every conclusion or every scenario that I was bringing up, I was like, it was the fairest it could possibly be. Do you know what I mean?
Well, I'm surprised that you even thought that.
Yeah, no, I just, you know, like, it's...
My
you know,
brother,
like sometimes it's like, sometimes you feel bad when you feel like people are missing out. Like some people that have not been able to go. I don't know. I bet you know me.
Chuckie, we're fucking adults. You put the link live. If man then miss out, you should have been Chuckie's friend like me so you can get a guest list.
What's the most tickets that somebody can buy?
I think they can buy like 10.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, I think they can buy like 10. But it's 2,000, bro. There's 2,000 tickets. 1,000 tickets sold in like 10 seconds.
Yeah, so I'm sorry. Anyone that missed out, man. If you're buff, you know the pattern. Just message me.
But you know what it is? Okay, I hear it, yeah. I'm not putting a negative spin on this, by the way. I'm just I'm just giving like a different way of looking at it. It's like, imagine you do what you've been told to do. So you set the reminder and you wait. And at 12 o'clock, you're there. You're actually there. It's not like you were, I don't know, you went to the shop or you left your phone here, or you was there.
I hear you.
Now you've gone on, you've clicked the thing, whatnot, pull it in the basket, you've done everything right on the time it drops and it tells you it's sold out. It's like...
Chuckie, the other day, I saw a man go to the bar, talk to a girl. He was there. She was there. Bought her a drink. They had a good conversation for 25 minutes whilst I was sitting down eating dinner by myself. I then saw her boyfriend go over. The guy apologised and walked off. He left with nothing, but he was there. This is what happens, people. Sometimes you lose.
Yeah,
but you was there.
Yeah.
He was there. The people were there then with the reminder, and he didn't get a ticket.
Yeah.
Do you have security to stop bots?
Well, DICE are very good at dealing with people like the bot stuff. So we've not had problems with that. So that should all be fine. The only thing was some people was like, oh, stagger the tickets, but that you gotta understand what you're saying when you say this. You say stagger the tickets, it doesn't make no difference because the same volume of people are going to try and get these tickets. So the same thing will happen if we staggered the tickets and let's say we did 500 each time, the same thing would happen 5 times.
Bro.
And then on top of that, or 4 times, shall I say, and then on top of that, that's even more annoying because you've tried 4 times.
Listen, I'm sorry, this is going to sound harsh, but history is only told by the people that won.
Right.
So shout out the 2,000 people coming down to the
big
RB.
big up.
You won.
And yeah.
Not
super
if you don't win
grateful.
every time, Chuckie. Sometimes you lose. And I know where you're coming from because you're a man, you got a big heart and you want, you know what I'm saying? But you know what, people that didn't make it, if you're good looking, message me. Any gal, we'll get you in. Anybody else, it is what it is, man.
Nah, but listen, sick though. Very grateful. And yeah, now it's just about having a, like creating a good experience and whatnot. And also, you know what I mean? Something might be happening in January. You know what I mean?
Serious?
Something might be happening in January.
What do
So
you
if
mean
you don't miss that, something might be happening in January.
This feels right!
You get what I'm saying?
Kicking off the year correctly.
Yes, sir. Right?
Listen, when are you going to get Joe down? Because I want to shake his hand. He's the reasons why I started doing foreplay. He said in a song, show me to the subway, I'll go down. I've been wanting to meet that man for a long period of time to say thank you. The subway.
Listen, that's like one day that will happen, and that is a dream for me because Joe is an absolute G, bro.
The Don.
So you know what I mean?
Bald by choice,
Right
unlike
then.
some.
He's got bare use, you know.
Brother, you heard the music he makes?
Yeah.
So, bro,
He's
making him
been
surprised?
outside. Like
Huh?
he's been outside.
More than genuine.
I think so.
Genuine's just loud about it.
He's
Yeah.
not even loud. He's just loud
Genuine,
nowadays.
his missus left him.
I know. Who, genuine?
Yeah, I was
He kept it
watching.
real, though.
Yeah, I was watching.
Drink
Tank's
Champs?
podcast? No, it was Drink Champs.
Come.
Drink Champs. Yeah. That's where he sort of talked about it. Yeah, that's where he kind of talked about it. Man. Why are you going on to Jojo, bro?
What's his
Jojo's got
surname?
nothing to do with this.
What's his surname?
Who Genuine? Genuine's name's called Elgin Lumpkin.
Pardon? Pardon? You mean all them times gal are going wet for Pony and them thing there? His name is what?
Elgin Lumpkin.
That stinks.
Yeah, Elgin. Elgin Lumpkin.
Elgin Baylor Lumpkin.
I would have went for Baylor. I would have just switched that around. And then not said my middle name.
He deserves to flipping fall dancing on stage now, man.
But yeah, man. But in regards to the Hcpod and that as well,
Serious?
we are having some conversations about putting something together in Jan.
Oh yeah.
We are having some conversations about putting something together in Jan.
And Joe will be there.
Right then.
Listen, here it says Joe has 2 kids though.
Oh really?
Yes.
Oh mad. Okay. Well then someone's telling lies on him, or he's not declaring them.
I like the latter.
Right. I'm
He's
going
not
with that.
declaring.
He's not declaring them. Yeah.
Shooting like taxis. Rapes.
Yeah, he's doing all of that. But yeah, Joe's a G, man. Joseph Thomas. Thomas, what a
He
guy.
uses his real name. How can you mad at Joe?
No, you can't be mad at Joe, bro.
It's a good name though. JT. Great initials. Everyone's had that over the years.
Do you know who's got an interesting, a normal but very interesting thing around his name? Russell Brand.
RB.
RB.
But not R&B, otherwise.
Right then.
That's sold out. This one here, this one's ban out.
Yeah. Russell Brand has got himself in a bit, well, he's in a pickle.
Oh, Tommy Pickle, mate.
He's in a very, very, very big pickle. And it's an interesting one, this. Because you know what? Like, over the last couple years, I've been watching Russell Brand talking, saying a lot of things, very anti-establishment. His political views seem like they've changed over the last however many years. Some people would say that like at one point he was like very, very left. Now some people are saying he was moving a bit more to the right. Now he's like in this different space where he's just like questioning everything. Do you get what I'm saying?
Like an elevated Vuj.
Yes, like an elevated Vuj. Talks a lot faster. And yeah, like has some really strong opinions on whatever. But he's always had a past that he's talked a lot about with sex addiction, drug addiction, and whatever else. And like we've seen him on the television a lot, because he's a comedian. Like he's done shows on TV, whatever else and whatnot. But these allegations have come out, and the first thing that I saw Lippy repost this actually. So I didn't even know. Like Lippy was like, "What has he done?" So I've watched the video, and then this is Russell Brand talking about, you know what, there's these allegations that have come out that are completely false and blah, blah, whatever. And that there was a documentary coming out. I ain't actually seen the documentary, but a load of women have basically come out and said, boom, he R'd me. He R'd me. Or they had like some uncomfortable situations with him. There was like a thing allegedly where he was seeing a girl that was 16 years old when he was 30. Like everything is coming up. So now it seems as though people's opinions have been really divided on this. We can't really have a conversation about whether he did it or not because we don't really know. There's a lot of allegations, but we don't know. But it seems as though things are really split. So you've got on one side some people that are looking at it and saying this is crazy, the allegations are strong enough as far as they're concerned, and it just looks mad. Then on the other side you've had the corporations that have worked with him, some of them, or that are working with him, stepping aside from him. They did that immediately. They demonetized his YouTube channel.
6 million subscribers as well.
Yeah, I think it just turned 6 million as well. And like whatever else. And so you're getting some people that are looking at that and saying, demonetization and stepping away on the day of allegations for some people feel a bit uncomfortable for them a little bit because they're like, ultimately it's still allegations. And then on the other side, there's obviously going to be people that are going to look at that and say, well, we just don't believe that he's done it. I guess the conversation that I wanted to bring up a little bit was, well, actually, firstly, what was your thoughts on this when you first saw it?
It was very interesting to me. Just to add, is it Rumble? They posted a letter from the government. A letter from the government of people in the government asking that Russell Brand is demonetized on their platform. So
wait, so the letter came from the government?
Yeah. Now, again, I stand with you when I say I don't even know what to say about the allegations themselves because we don't know if they're true or not. But one thing we do know is this is what I believe, is he's pissed someone off. In these past 5-6 years, I think his content's completely changed from the Russell Brand I saw like on MTV growing up. He's completely changed. And within this transition, he would have grabbed a new audience, and the people he probably once made laugh, he's probably pissing off now. With some of the things that he's speaking about in regards to this country, the government, he's exposing a lot of wrongdoings of, I guess, the higher powers. And the only problem when you go toe to toe with them is they have a lot more resources in media than you. You have your platform, you have your YouTube, you have the many people that will echo what you're saying. But these massive establishments, bro, they're just too strong. They could tell a lie. Like, for example, everything they're saying right now, from my understanding, there's been no police have gone to Russell. The women have all hidden their identity. It's so far. They've kind of just made a documentary based upon stories. And it's just, sorry to to ramble on, but just to wrap up, I think the saddest thing about the situation is even if he busts his case and it's found out it's not true, like this has definitely dented the work he's been doing for a long period of time and tarnished it to a certain extent because some people are they haven't got enough time to contemplate whether this is true or not. They've just seen the article and just gone, Russell, you're a bad guy, and they carry on with their life. And I think for the work that he's trying to do to help people, it's fucked it up badly.
Definitely. But the thing is, do you know what is mad about this?
Yeah.
I was thinking about this on the way here, There's so much for and against in a situation like this. Because I could think this, but if I'm being objective, I could also understand that. But I could understand this, but if I was being objective, I could see a point against it. So it's like, in what you're saying, which is true, and I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
The other side of it is let's just say, yeah, he's doing this good work now, and he's saying what he's saying, and maybe a lot of it is true, and he's uncovering a lot of stuff. But let's just say that that is his past, and that is what he did. Does it mean then that because he's doing good now, that these things that he has done and the trauma that he's caused to these women, apparently, shouldn't be something that comes to light a little bit?
It's crazy though. I don't know. I don't have the right answer.
Yeah, by the way, and that's another thing. I don't even want you to when I'm asked. See, like when I'm saying this, I don't want you to try to give me an answer, because I don't even want you. I don't want anyone to misconstrue your point. I don't want anyone to think that you're standing somewhere. You get what I'm saying? Because sometimes that can happen.
I appreciate that. If anybody thinks I'm standing somewhere, I don't care anymore.
We're just unpacking.
Yeah, I'm not interested about what you think. I'm interested in what you know. Knowing is more powerful. Thinking, you can change your thoughts in seconds.
Strong.
So, in regards to this situation, Russell's got a big decision to make.
What is that?
So, I look at the MJ situation. After years of being accused of touching children, MJ said, I'm fighting this last case to show to you that this ain't even my story. MJ bust case, stood on top of the car, I think it was, and everyone was cheering. And people still call him a kiddly fiddler today. Regardless of you, but look, you lot want to try and prove this in the media? Cool, let's go to court. I've won the case now. But guess what? I haven't won. Because if anyone talks about Michael Jackson today, they still bring that up. So with Russell Brand, he just has a choice to make. A real big choice. Do you battle against this media and government, apparently, that had now probably had enough of you saying bare stuff about them? Do you continue this battle and this war? Or do you change direction and do something else? And it'll be interesting for me to see where he goes, because this is bad. This is really, 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 really bad. And if it's true, this is terrible. It's
crazy.
That's
why when you go to the for and against thing, it's on that side, it's he's doing good work, but then on the other side, so he's unveiling elements of history, essentially.
Yeah.
Then someone else can say, well, let's have a look at your history. There's also the side of like, you know how I feel about human beings sometimes. Like, human beings can be amazing, but sometimes human beings can be full of shit, to be honest, yeah? So then you have, on one side, you give somebody the opportunity to speak in silence, well, to speak but in darkness.
Yeah.
And you can say what you want.
100.
You can say what you want. You can say anything you want, because no one's going to see you, and you may not necessarily be held accountable for lies if you are lying.
Hold that for a second. Hold that for. This is Aaron. Just answer the phone for me and go upstairs and meet him for me. Thank you. I love you.
Let's go.
No problem, sir.
Yo.
More efficient next time, though.
So you can lie like that and not be held accountable for your lies. But then the other side to that could be, I could understand that if you've gone through something like that and you're trying to move forward with your life, and this is something that is, because obviously being odd is a very serious thing, isn't it? Yeah. I could understand why someone may not necessarily want to be on TV. Next minute, you go on the train and people are looking at you like, oh, you were the one who was odd by so-and-so. So I could see why somebody would not want to do that. So then it's like, there's like all of these
for and against
in everything. And then it's like, okay, we look at the, like, being objective. There's allegations. These allegations have not been, he hasn't been proven guilty of anything yet. Yeah. It's also people that are just talking on something. So, or just talking on their experiences. It's just we don't know who these people are. So what do? Do we, on these allegations, take away his earnings and his way of living, essentially, on allegations? What if these allegations are not, it turns out that they're not true? Then there's a big implication on that. What happens there? Then, though, however, how you doing, my bro?
We're recording now.
We're recording now. But then on the other side, what if it is true, and it isn't, and you're not demonetized, and you continue to make all of this money when it is true? But then remember, look at the other side of this as well, yeah, where it's like the reality is that conviction rates on ours are not great because it's just me and this one in the room. So I can do what I'm doing in the room. We can have a different interpretation of what's happened in this room. Or she could barefaced tell me, yo, stop. Like, what are you doing? And I continue doing what I'm doing. But then when it's time to go, when they go to the police, go to the court, whatever, I say, nah, but that's not what happened because of, then they say, no, this is what happened. It's just like my story against theirs. This is one of the reasons why the conviction rate isn't how it is. So, or isn't as high as it probably could be at certain times. So now, because somebody isn't found guilty of it, doesn't mean that it didn't happen. It's one big for and against. What do you do? What do you do?
This is the thing that's let me show you the things that are confusing to me. Very, very confusing to me. And again, I don't stand with or against anyone because I'm black. This has got nothing to do with me, essentially. It's not my business. But I'm over here visiting, man. Mason Greenwood still gets paid. Hear me out? Tory Lanez on his YouTube still gets paid. These are two situations that went to court. One proven innocent. All right, Mason. And then the other, Tory Lanez proven guilty. But he can still monetize and make money off his YouTube. He shot a gal in the foot. Big facts.
Strong.
But he's still getting paid. So you mean to tell me we can gather a group of people together, we can have some allegations that are not even involved with the police as of yet, just a documentary on television, and we can take away Russell Brand's earnings? For me, I'm not saying it's right, I'm not saying it's wrong, I'm saying there's a level of inconsistency which confuses me. So I'm looking at the situation and I'm just going, if this is the direction that we're going in life, we're fucked. Because this situation isolated might be Russell Brand fucked up and he was in the wrong, so therefore whatever happens, it is what it is, isn't it, I guess?
Yeah.
But there might be an individual in the future who actually is telling the truth and it's all nonsense around his name. But they are now creating this system where they have the ability to take away your earnings from YouTube and tarnish your name. So what the fuck do you do after that?
Yeah.
Especially if you're an older individual who's coming towards the end of your career, you don't really make the money that you used to make right now. So right now, this YouTube earnings, I'm not saying that's the case for him, but I'm just giving you scenarios. Man can, off allegations, take away all your earnings. But then there are other areas within this country where people... Prince Andrew's calm. Prince Andrew is calm. So I just want to know, since the government is getting involved in taking away funds from people, is there other people that we could potentially do the same to just so it's fair? Individuals that are actually convicted? Individuals that have actually been proven to have done what they've done? Can they also be? Or is it just going to be the people that you choose?
Yeah.
That's a bit unfair for me.
So obviously, because I was just checking to see if Tory Lanez's thing had been demonetized, because there's a chance it could have been still.
Is it?
Possibly. You know, I've just checked. I tried to check. You check now.
The thing is, we checked.
We don't know.
Do you know when I checked?
But also
I checked the time it happened and it wasn't. So
okay.
It may have recently, but the time that it was all going on, I just out of curiosity, sorry to cut you, was like, I wonder if you can get taken off, brother.
He was still there.
I ain't been broken a minute, still outside doing this thing.
Russell Brand's YouTube is still there though, right? He just can't make money off it.
Yeah. No, it's still there though.
It's still there though. Okay. The Mason Greenwood thing as well though, the equivalency is different purely because he's not being paid by YouTube. He's being paid by his employer, which is another football team, right?
So what does the government and YouTube have to do in common with each other?
What do you mean?
The government is the reasons why Russell Brand's not making money. The government is sending letters saying demonetize somebody. This doesn't, like, I'm confused. Not that the police got involved and then the police go out and contact everyone. The government has told YouTube and Rumble demonetize this guy.
Yeah.
So why can't the government tell Manchester United, yo, I don't. But it's confusing to me. You have nothing to do with YouTube.
Yeah.
The KKK probably got a YouTube channel. Why can't they get demonetized? I don't understand. I'm just confused. Like, you're making it a confusing situation for me. I don't get what's going on, bro. Because if you can demonetize someone off accusations, no one should have a YouTube account. Obviously, there's a whole documentary and all
Well,
of
it's
that.
contextual, isn't it? It's like, what have you done? And who is it being judged by? That's the interesting thing, because how do you judge, like, how are we judging the severity of each thing? Where do we draw the line? Like, where is the line that gets drawn? Where is the, that's okay, but this is wrong?
No,
Like,
yeah.
where is that bit? Do you get me?
I hear you.
But the thing is, for some people, they will say, yeah, it's interesting timing. Like, he's saying a lot of stuff. He's super anti-establishment. He's saying a lot of things, and now, like, this is happening. But I don't know. I think there's a group of people. This is me. This is kind of where I am, yeah?
Yeah.
Where I always kind of like, where I start digging deep on things. It's just like, when an action is made, sometimes I think, this could happen to me.
Yeah.
That's why I take it. That's why sometimes I do take certain things seriously, or sometimes I'm asking certain questions, because I'm like, you know what? Somebody could one day come out and say something, and everything's just like super class for me. Is it right? I might know the truth, but you may not know the truth. So if you don't know, what is the thing that you do objectively? Especially as an employer, you can understand maybe how an employer might say, you know what, you might need to take some time off to go and work on this, or to deal with this, fight this case, whatever it may be. But then what happens is the public, depending on the type of work that you do, the public take away the nuance, I guess, and bring emotion into it, which is not always wrong. And in the emotions, that's where you're like, no, you should do. It's kind of like when we was talking about the death penalty, yeah?
Yeah.
It's like, some people will be like, nah, I don't agree with death penalty or whatever. But when you get emotional, your response to that might be, kill him, take his head off, whatever. You don't then think about what the right thing to do is. It's because you're emotional. That's touched you a certain type of way. So you're reacting off your emotions, innit? And when you have Twitter doing that, and they apply that onto the employer, the employer then decides to make a move, because it's like, this is too much for me. But it's like, wait, was that right though? If you're taking a step back, was that the right thing to do? Do you have enough balls to be able to say, you know what, I'm going to stand firm and say, no, we're going to wait and see. But the allegations sometimes are so deep where you're like, hold on, wait. And also, to be fair, it's like, look, I don't know what he did or what he hasn't done, yeah? But the unfortunate thing for him is, because he's actually been so vocal about sex addiction, he's almost put himself in a situation where people could look at him and say, I could see how that's happened. Look how erratic he is. You get what I'm saying? Like, there's like little clips of him where it could be super innocent, bro. But you know, he's just like, there's a camera. It seems like he's performing because he's in front of the camera and he's just being erratic. He's just jumping up and down the place, and he grabs a woman by the face and he kisses her. And he's just being a bit flirty and he's just being stupid. Sometimes people look at that and say, it's Russell Brand, and it's just... But another section of people will turn around and say, well, as this has come out, we look at that now and it's like, it makes a bit of sense.
Yeah.
And it's just it's a big mess. Yeah. I think there was one thing that what one woman said, yeah, where she talked about the mascara thing. Have you seen that?
No.
So like, he makes a joke in his stand-up about like getting neck to the point where she's like, the mascara's coming down her face. Yeah. Now, in the documentary, the woman says something about him saying that he wants to ram the thing down her throat or whatever until the mascara comes down her face. Yeah. So now the for and against can be, brother, my man's doing a madness, and then he's going on stage and turning this whole thing into a joke because he just feels like he could do that. But the other side of it could be, he's so vocal about this, like, certain elements of it, joking around innocently, that you can actually spin that and say, this is what happened to me. Look, he even said it on stage. And it's not even true. But what do you do as an employer? Do you turn around and say, we'll wait and see what happens? Or do you say, nah, you know what, we kind of need to just wait until, we just need to just, what is the right thing to do? Because remember, it's an allegation.
Fuck knows, man.
We don't know.
Fuck knows.
We are still, as human beings, we are still trying to figure it out. We're still trying to figure out the combination between legality and morality. Because there's still a big nuance in this as well.
Irrespective of the situation, one thing I will say is if your emotional response to a situation is a weakness, then it's a strength for someone else. Someone's created a scenario for your emotional response to be what it is. So you're in a weak position then. That correlating with today right now, I would hope, it's crazy. I'm in such a weird situation in my mind where a part of me hopes it's true. For the simple fact that I don't like using a situation which is very serious as just a way to get people to like do what you want them to do. Like using a real scenario to manipulate a group of people. If I hope this is true, because I hope that's not happening. But in the same breath, I hope it's not true, because I wouldn't want to think that of Russell Brand. So I'm in a weird place in my mind. Where
and you wouldn't want a woman to go through some shit like that.
I don't want no woman to go through anything like that, man, bro. Who wants any women to go through, especially it's a bag of, it's not like one or two. From my understanding, there's a few women there, bro. So I don't want any woman to have gone through that. So it's just a weird situation. But I do believe, honestly, how it's being carried out, it's like, raw, that means you've had this evidence, you've had all of this information for years. And the only time you've chosen to distribute it to the world is when you feel the person is a threat to what you're doing. Like I said, it's the government that is asking them to demonetize this guy, fam. That's why I'm like, Russell, I feel like you pissed someone off. You've pissed someone off so high up. They're like, big man, we have to sort of stop this thing before Janan coming from infiltrates what we're trying to do. It could be that type of situation, because the timing of it is just a little bit like, well, geezer, if you really care about this woman, we could have acted a little bit sooner. Again, but I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know how long these situations take when you give you information. I don't know. Yeah,
the woman who's like at the forefront of this has said that she's been investigating this for 4 years or whatever. But you know, it's mad, bro. It's like, you see, in this life, sometimes we think we know things, but we don't know nothing, bro. This could just be a very, like, serious, general thing that someone has done. They've just stumbled across this and, like, it's just all facts and they found this stuff and it's just crazy and they just feel like it's really important to share this because, you know, this dude is doing stuff hidden in plain sight. You get me? And it's important that it's not just about him. There's bare people in power that's abused their power and doing all kinds of stuff. But then also on the other side of it, there could actually just be some people at play that are like, he's too noisy. He's too noisy. But, and then made up a bunch of stuff. But let's just say both things are true. Let's say he did do that and they are doing that. Then who's more in the wrong? Or is there not a more in the wrong? Are we both looking at it and saying this whole thing's fuckery? Then what do? How do we move accordingly to that? We say fuck my man and fuck the establishment too. Then where does it leave us?
Man, you know what? Honestly,
do you get what I'm saying? This thing's deep, bro.
White on white crime is dangerous.
I'm telling you.
Black on black crime is in plain sight. You see niggas with knives, all of this type of nonsense. White on white crime, there's people investigating you for 4 years. Then they're getting... It's crazy.
What do you think?
Crazy.
What do you think? Let us know in the comments and that. Maybe the best thing for people to do is to figure out what Justin Timberlake has done and go that route.
Justin Timberlake's done a good job.
Yeah, man.
He's done a really,
just
really
be black.
good job.
Just be black, man.
He looks depressed when he's white. Have you seen the new video he's done with NSYNC?
Who?
Justin Timberlake.
Oh, has he gone back to being white?
Released 21 hours ago.
Oh, mad.
A lot of views.
But he's black, though.
Yeah, eating chicken wings. Broken on a record, but he's black.
Yeah.
When he wants to be.
Tell the story. What you saying, my G?
What up, man?
Yeah,
come,
good,
Aaron.
Am I on now?
Yeah, man, you're on, man.
I appreciate it.
Fuck Aaron.
Nice to meet you, bro.
It's an honor, man.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Aaron, you said your name.
Aaron,
yeah?
yeah.
Aaron.
Yeah.
Aaron.
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 I'm
Two
excited
A's.
to be on this chair, man, because
Come
I'm a fan
on,
of the
man.
podcast, man.
Love that.
Well, guy,
I'm a big
though.
fan.
So
I
wait,
feel
did
like
you-
I'm a fucking Moroccan street hustler today.
Okay.
My New Jersey on.
Yeah.
Feeling good.
Where you from?
Oakland, California.
Did you meet each other in? Where did you meet each other?
You hit me up through the socials to go and do the work in Washington that time where I told you I had
Right.
a great time. So this is the man responsible for Black Arrow. I'll let Aaron talk about Black Arrow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What is
no,
Black
so
Arrow?
I used to follow him when I first started Black Arrow. I was watching a lot of Copa 90s content.
Yeah.
And kind of my thought process was, we need our own, like a black Copa 90. So I would always watch Poet and be like, damn, he need to be over here with us. You know what I mean? When the Arsenal came out to the U.S. to play in the MLS All-Star, I knew he was, a big Arsenal fan. And a lot of people on the culture side in the U.S. all know Poet and love him. So we were hosting an event. I figured he'd be, a ringer to come out and pop through. So, yeah, I just reached out.
So
Here we are.
what is Black Arrow though?
Yeah, so Black Arrow is a platform that focuses on the intersection of soccer and black culture.
Do you want to try and just want to move the thing, but just so it's not in his face. Just have a little check quickly, because that I can see it. That is in his face there.
Sorry.
Sorry. Yeah, tidy.
Man, like,
Yeah, tidy. Nicely.
Thank you, Machaji.
Yeah, we're good. Yeah, so what is Black Arrow?
Yeah, so Black Arrow is a platform that focuses on the intersection of soccer and black culture. So we create content, events, anything in the world of soccer and black culture. And then we work with teams and leagues and brands around the world that are trying to tell black stories, reach black fans, everything under the sun. So I personally fell in love with soccer like just about 4 or 5 years ago, right before I started this. In the U.S., soccer's not that big in the black community. And in general, black people in America kind of have a negative perception of football. And through traveling in Europe, me and some of my friends, during the 2014 World Cup, instead of going to the World Cup in Brazil, we thought it would be more lit to be in different countries in Europe when they were having their World Cup games. So you were in the streets. So the first game of the World Cup was Brazil versus Croatia. We were in Croatia, and they have this small town called Pula, and they have an ancient Roman Colosseum in there. And so, again, I didn't know anything about fucking really the World Cup or anything. We were just there for the party, and the mayor decided to show the game in the ancient Roman Colosseum. And it's like me, my homies are like 6'5" black dudes, fucking 15,000 Croatians rolling into this Roman Colosseum. It's on the water, sunset. They're playing Brazil, and they scored first actually. And man, when that shit went off, flare, I was like, wow, this is like this is deeper than deeper than the sport itself. So we went on to different parts we went to Germany, watched the game, Brandenburg Gate, 100,000 people. Went to Frankfurt, Switzerland, Italy, and in every country I was seeing, all right, this is how this culture celebrates, the World Cup, how they get together and the stories and all that stuff. So when I got back, I'm just like, all right, well, shit, well, what's up with black people then? Like, where are we coming together? Where do we fit into this whole, cultural phenomena that is football? So when I went to go look up, like, all right, well, I'm ready to tap in. Like, what's good? Where are the black folks at? There was really nothing, out there that was, unapologetically looking at the game from, the black perspective. So I said, fuck it, I'll start the shit myself.
That's cold still.
Yeah.
But is it because more where you're from, most people kind of look more to like basketball and like NFL and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
So there hadn't been like much of a interest
Yeah,
or
like, we didn't-
or
we
was
didn't-
it was it always kind of there, but it's just kind of finding a way to just bring it to the surface a little bit?
No, it wasn't there. You know, the MLS didn't start till 1998. You know, so when we grew up, there was no soccer on television. There's no 20, 30,000 people rolling into stadiums. So the optics of soccer when we were young is just a recreational sport. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, you played when you were a youth to stay in shape or whatever, but it wasn't this massive, big media thing, crowds of people. Like, that didn't really exist. Where I'm from, we just thought it was a Mexican sport, really.
I could see why you would say that. Yeah, I could see why you say that. Yeah,
So
yeah.
like when I got into it, I had to go back to all my Mexican homies and be like, damn, like, I owe y'all. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, so and the more I dug into it, the more I also kind of found Africa and the diaspora, like through soccer, and that kind of motivated me to kind of dive deeper and explore more into what I was doing, because I come from the world of like music and culture prior to this, you know what I mean? And I was seeing the diaspora kind of reconnect through, dancehall music and Afro beats and stuff like that. And then, people in America started, kind of researching their roots a lot more. I was big into reggae music. So when I saw this football shit, I was like, oh, okay, well, actually, like, the one thing that black people around the world have in common is football and music. And so trying to see this as a way to reconnect the diaspora, you know what I mean? So yeah, it's been a hell of a journey, man. And I've been to all over the world, Kenya, Nigeria, Jamaica, fucking
That's
Rome,
sick.
everywhere, you know what I mean? So the global nature of it is like, when you get to experience that, you want to bring that back to, people in the hood, and like, yo, if you watch football, you're gonna see, all right, who's this Pugba guy, who's this Sané guy, like, where's he from? The sport kind of forces you to ask questions, you know what I mean, and start finding out more about, okay, well, shit, this Lukaku guy, where the fuck is this nigga from? You know what I mean? He looks like he's from Chicago. You know what I mean?
He does still, yeah. What's your day like? What's your day to day? Like, what are you actually doing? Like, what does your day to day look like?
Yeah, so that's a good question. Like, I'll go back. The first big project that we did is this documentary that started in Kenya and brought me to Manchester United. And this has been like
crazy.
A 4 or 5 year project that was, is actually going to come out later, early next year. So I was in Nairobi. Actually doing a consulting gig for Facebook. It was unrelated to Black Arrow.
1 second.
Sorry, bro.
Yeah, so I was in Nairobi, and this was my first time in Africa. Facebook had brought me over there to do some consulting project for them, and I had just started Black Arrow about like 3-4 months ago, so I was asking around, like, just asking about football culture and stuff like that, and I paid this cab driver to drive me around for the day, and I was asking, like, yo, who's the Michael Jordan of, football in Kenya? First thing he said was,
That's an interesting question.
he said to me, who's Michael Jordan? So that's,
So he said, yeah.
as an American, I'm like, oh wow, like, I'm already realizing, like, how ethnocentric we are in America.
Right.
But so he told me it was this guy, Joe Kadenge. He's telling me how he was playing when they were going through their independence, and he's telling me about this guy for like 20 minutes while we're driving around. And so, just kind of joking, and just, at the end when he was done, I was like, man, I wish I could meet this guy. He was like, oh, you want to meet him? He's like, he's a cab driver himself. He's like, I could take you to him right now. So the dude, he takes me to the other side of town, pulls up on the side, sees some guy. This guy makes a call go. Next thing I know, I'm walking into this guy's house, all within maybe 25 minutes of saying that. And he's 81 years old. It's like, it's like walking into your grandfather's house. You know what I'm saying? He's eating some chicken. His wife is in there cooking. He's watching TV, and he just invited me in. He didn't even know who I was, and so I just kind of told him like, yo, I just started this company, Black Arrow. I'm very interested in the stories of the heroes of Africa that that weren't getting told by the mainstream media. So he and I just kind of became good friends. We talked for like 2 hours, and I was like, yo, would you mind if I just like film a short little piece on you while I'm here? So we met up the next day. We were going to film just like a little story on him, and really the story was like, he didn't have a dollar to his name. Like, he lived in like a shanty town, and he was playing in the 1950s. Like, they didn't have shoes, literally. So he never made really any money in his career, but he's like an actual like legend of the he's a legend of the country. You know what I'm saying? Not just from a football perspective. And so my story as an American initially was going to be like, all right, here's this like legend who's poor, doesn't have any, doesn't have a dollar to his name. And basically the more I thought about that, I'm like, what is that story going to contribute to Kenya? Like they already know that, right? So when we were during the interview, I asked him like, who's your favorite team? He said it was Manchester United. And I asked him why, and he said because it was the Munich air disaster. Have you heard of that?
Yeah.
So I'm like, have you ever been to a game? And he's like, how would I go to a game? You know what I'm saying? Again, as an American, like, I never really thought that you could be a fan of a team without ever going to a game. You know what I mean? So when he read about the Munich air disaster in the newspaper, he was just so like struck by it because he was the top footballer in Kenya that he started following the team. And basically I've been following the team for 60 years. So anyways, we filmed the whole piece. I got back home. I'm researching, trying to figure out like, all right, how do I tell this story? What is the story? So I started researching the Munich air disaster because I'd never heard about it. And then I saw that the 60th anniversary was coming up in actually a few months. So I was like, wow, what if I looked up and see like what goes on around the anniversary, and I saw that Manchester United does this big kind of ceremony. So I was like, what if instead of telling the story of, this poor African footballer who doesn't have a dollar to his name, like what if we bring him to his first game and change the narrative, you know what I mean? So yeah, that's what we did.
That's cool.
I had to borrow, shout out to my boy.
Yeah, how did you get the money to do that, by the way?
I had a Jewish homie.
Okay.
I had
Kanye was wrong.
One of my best friends, he does well for himself, and I called him up and I just said, yo, I've never asked him for anything. I'm like, look, this is, like, I got to do this. You know what I mean? And so it was deep because he was 82 at the time, and so we had to not only like fly him out there, we had to fly someone with him. I had to take him to the hospital to make sure that he was healthy enough to go.
Mm-hmm.
We had to get his visa. A lot of shit that, like, again, as an American, like, just even going through the process of, like, the visa, which is, like, a month process, had to get a letter from Manchester United. So from starting Black Arrow, I was really starting to already pick up connections in the football world. And a friend of my friend connected me with this guy who was, like, I don't know, he was, like, the first black guy to ever play for the English national team. Or to play for Manchester United. I always forget this guy's name.
Viv Anderson.
Viv Anderson. Someone connected me with Viv Anderson. Again, I had just started Black Arrow, so I'm like, I don't even know how I'm playing half this shit off. So Viv Anderson sends an email to the CEO at the time of Manchester United. We put together like a rough edit of the video, and I was hoping Manchester United would pay for it, but they were like, we'll invite you out. You know what I mean? We'll let you come film, and so they invited us out, and we took them out there for 3 days. We went to, it was covered by, this was like headline news in Kenya, and the Kenyans hit me like, man, you better fucking take care of our legend. Going crazy, and yeah, it was a pretty incredible experience for me because I'm watching this guy see snow for the first time, shit like that.
Yeah, I hear that. He would not like. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
It's like he's coming to a whole. It's a big culture shock, isn't it? It's different, massively
he couldn't
different.
believe how clean the roads were. That was the whole thing.
So he's never left.
He's never left.
Oh man, do you know that is interesting to me? It's like watching someone that has lived their whole life in a certain environment and standing next to them when they're somewhere that is completely different. One time I remember that. Sorry, just quick side chop.
Yeah.
I was in an airport, coming back here, and there was this man. He was an old man. He was obviously with his family, and I could tell that this is new to him. He's never been here before, yeah. But he was looking at like some of the women, because it was like kind of hot here at the time, and like just bare skin out and whatnot. And he just could. You could just see it in his face. He just couldn't believe what was going on.
Yeah.
It wasn't in disgust, but it was like you could see that he just was like really confused.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just different to him. But yeah, anyway.
Yeah. No, and that was the same thing for him. And also he's a legend in Kenya, so he would walk up to people and just start talking to him like, yo, you don't know who I am? You know what I mean? Like, because he had just was so big in his own world that even coming out here, you know what I'm saying? He was like, he would just walk up to people and he couldn't believe that people obviously aren't as like friendly as they are.
No, yeah, that's the next thing.
Yeah. So, a few amazing things happened, man. Like the ceremony was dope. Like it was, Pogba's sitting right here, Lukaku's over here, Rashford's over here, Lingard's over here. Started Black
He's
Arrow.
losing his mind.
You know what I mean? I'm rolling him in on the wheelchair. It's fucking snowing, and the announcers doing this all. They're calling out all the names of the survivors from the Munich air disaster. Yeah. We late as fuck, you know what I'm saying? Everything, you know what I mean? Nobody knows who I am. It's just, I was just in there. Then we took him to the football museum. My idea was actually, I was going to run up on the museum and be like, yo, why you don't have like the legend in here, type of thing, like kind of coming at them. But, I called the museum and I was like, yo, I got this legend, yada, yada. And they were super nice and they invited us in and they, put up his jersey for a minute. So, and we invited BBC Africa to come do an interview. So
cold. So you're connecting dots, like even in that aspect.
And I just wanted to like, even if it was temporary, just have his jersey up in the museum. Right. Because he belongs in that museum. But that museum comes from the perspective of England, you know what I'm saying? And so that project really led me into, and then we took him to a game and he was, mad because they didn't, do better, but
typical.
It was David Beckham's dad was in there and shit, and like
Ted.
Again, I didn't know shit about football, so I'm like, what is David Beckham's dad doing in here? Like literally, that's how little I knew about football. I'm thinking this guy's an LA Galaxy player. Like, what's his dad doing here?
Oh, okay. So you didn't know that David Beckham,
the legend,
the connect.
I mean,
connection.
at that time,
yeah, fair.
It's just
fair.
like, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like that's how new to the sport I was, and that's how kind of crazy that I was actually doing all this shit, because I don't even fucking know nothing about David Beckham at the time.
Yeah. Had you heard of him though?
I had heard of him, yeah, for sure.
Do you so
before you go, Chuckie, told a story about the woman, the game that the Kenyan player played in.
Yeah. So when I got here, I got here a few days before he did, and I stopped in London, and I went into the British Museum, into the archives to try to find more information about if I could find some old news articles about the Munich air disaster and also about Kenya and football and stuff like that. And I had saw that actually West Brom Albion.
Yeah, West Brom Albion. Yeah.
They used to go and play in Kenya every year in the 50s and 60s. And the English national team came a few times. And when they went, they played against Joe. Mind you, this is like the late 50s, early 60s. Okay, so they're going to Africa.
Crazy.
That's levels of what's going on. You know what I mean? So, and I don't think I told you this. Within that game that he played, so it was his local team against the English national team, and in that game, he had dribbled down and he shot it, and it went through a hole in the right side of the net, and the referee thought it was a goal but it actually just gone through a hole in the net.
Okay.
And so he went to the referee and was like, nah, that wasn't a goal. That actually, he basically like lied on the, he basically told the truth, right? And so, and all this is written in the article, and that kind of goes to the testament of his character, right? And so, anyways, when we get to the museum, one of the guys that works at the museum, they have these volunteers that are like, these football geeks that, they know all the histories and stuff like that. So we finished the BBC interview, and this guy's asking like, oh, who is he? I'm like, Kenyan legend. He's like, oh, for real? He's like, what year was he playing? I'm like, he played from 1958. He's like, oh, he's like, did he play when England went da 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 da? So this guy's connecting the dots. And it turns out that I'm gonna forget this player's name, but it turns out one of the top players in England at the time, he's a legend, was playing in that game, and this guy knew his wife. And there's a whole kind of like CTE concussion thing going on. So this English football guy had just recently died from CTE, and it was a big news story out here. So anyways, the volunteer calls this guy's wife and puts Joe on the phone with the guy's wife because they played in the game together. And, Joe's telling her, yeah, I remember your husband, he played on this side, and I was playing on this side, he was a winger, yada. And this lady's like, she just starts crying because not only did her husband just die, but she's like, yo.
Is this the player here? Is Jeff Astle. Yeah.
It's his wife. Astle. Yep. And so you got to imagine, this is what she explained. She was like, you got to imagine, when he came back from Kenya, the stories that he told to her was like, it was magical. So for her to, hear Joe, basically like relive this moment that was such a big moment in Jeff's life of him going to Kenya, in the 1950s, she just starts bawling. But yeah, so there was a lot of this is the purpose of Black Arrow. It's like, once you start diving into it, you start seeing all these connection points and all these stories and all these things that, really hadn't really been unearthed. You know what I mean? And that was like with Joe, what I wanted to do and what my promise to him was like, I want to tell your story, but I want to make you relevant again right now, and bringing you here to this game, and getting everybody in Kenya excited that you're finally getting to live your dreams is, how I can make you relevant. And through doing that, now we get to tell the story of Kenyan football. Now we get to tell the story of Jeff Astle and all these amazing things that, come out of it. Yeah, so
beautiful story, man. How does this happen? and also afterwards explain talk on how your experience was when you was, I know you've talked about it here already, but still.
Yeah, so there's like, when I look at Black Arrow, there's like all these different, when I was researching, if you look up black in soccer, all you hear about is like the racism, right? And so when I started this platform,
sorry to interrupt you, but funny enough, yeah, with all of the big problems that you lot have got over there, we believe that we should close America down for a little while.
Yeah, all the time.
I heard this guy talk about it.
Actually, I don't ever really hear about racism in football over there, which is nuts.
It's not as big of a problem.
They have 3 black players.
No, because you know what?
No, so institutionally, I'm assuming it's probably there somewhere down the line. Yeah, but in regards to like the crowd and stuff like that, it's
it's like. But remember, I told you at the start about the mixed race guys with the white mom.
Yeah.
That's football. In the
Stop that. But do you know what the thing is though? Why I would find that even interesting is that like really, if there are like loads of talented black players, the same way of like basketball, NFL, whatever, it's like you lot are just making us the money anyway. So it would almost be within their interest to try and find or breed players that or people that could potentially be good football players, no, or soccer players, as you would say over there.
Yeah, I mean, half the U.S. national team now is black. So, yeah.
Tyler Adams, Mackenzie, Timothy Weah.
Yeah.
You got a few brothers over there now, man.
Yeah,
but the racism is different. So, in my first point was like, when people say black soccer, like, when the media talks about it, it's always focused on racism, right? But when black people are talking to each other, there's much more to this. We're not just only talking about racism, right? So when I looked at Black Arrow, I looked at the history stuff. I look at our platform in the U.S. with it not being big in the black community. I look at it as like we have an opportunity to create a new soccer culture, you know? And so then there's the whole kind of cultural side of it and the cool kid side of it and the fashion side of it. So that's where Poet fits in, you know what I mean? Which is like into this, you know, this modern culture of football, like off the field. And I'm much more interested in that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm much more interested in him than I am, you know, Raheem Sterling, honestly.
Yeah.
Because he can say whatever the fuck he wants.
Right.
So he's powerful in that sense. You know what I mean? And everybody plays their role, but you know, I feel like too much we're relying on our athletes to speak out. Like, you know, they got to stay on the pitch and get paid.
Yeah.
And keep their money going. That's their role. Our role is to be much more of the voice and you know, and drive the culture and be the leaders and that stuff. And
yeah.
He actually fits in and you fit in because building a bridge between the U.S. and the U.K. from the black perspective is very important. And that's why I'm out here, and that's why I wanted to connect with Poet, because I know if I connect with him, he got all of London.
100%.
You know what I mean?
UK.
Yeah.
It's bigger than that. But
Yeah.
so what was it like? You've talked on it before.
Yeah.
But like from an intricate point of view, like working with them, like what was it like?
It was very, very interesting to me because I don't even know if we have anything like this in the UK where it's that authentic, where not only is it a voice for a black person in America, but it's the right voice. It's the voice that feels safe. It's not a space that you go to and you're a bit unsure or bro, it's a space that you come to, you're educated, you're having loads of fun, you can speak about football, that the history and the accessibility you have to like new stories. I came here telling you about Laurie Cunningham and what he was at Real Madrid. That's all due to just being in the space of Black Arrow. When I say in the space, I just went to a party, bro. But all the people you meet in and around it are all part of the space, and they all have such interesting stories about football, a perspective about football, and an actual genuine love for football. So seeing the way people experience it across the pond from the perspective of being black, I just found it very, very, very interesting, because it's actually more similar than you would think. We went to a football match, a five-a-side game on a roof. A fight almost took place. Come on, that passionate about winning, and I'm just like, raw. That's like,
good.
That's Willie B. Lane. That's
Yeah,
Tottenham.
that's good.
MPK, like fight will take place because you have the
You
competitive
want to
spirit.
win.
You want to
Yeah.
win, and I think that's important in football, to have a competitive spirit,
Facts.
not where it spills off and it goes too mad, but you need to want to win in football. And I went over there and I was happy to see that and feel that I want to win, on top of the knowledge as well and the know-how. And some decent players, bro.
Well, and at the same time, when I look at the UK, my whole thing was like, there's so much tension between the fans fighting, and my whole thing is like, that's not really our fight, right? Manchester United versus Man City, Arsenal versus Tottenham. I know here it is, but like what I wanted to do with Black Arrow for black people is be like, all right, like that's not our war, right? Like we should be connecting and building together, and not, you know, coming at each other. So when the US played England in the World Cup, you know, what I wanted to do is like use that moment for the black people to be like, look, we don't run these nations, so they can fight for each other, but we should be working together.
Facts, I hear that.
Yeah, I hear that for real.
So
we've done too much fighting amongst each other.
yeah, and like in the US, this is how they teach you to get into football culture. They're like, pick a team and then you hate everybody else. Like, we don't promote that model.
We're here, we're like that here a little bit.
Yeah, I know, and I don't promote that.
Oh, are you saying that's how we are here, or is that what you're saying over there?
No,
Both. We're trying to be like y'all. So
okay.
But I'm trying to tell black people back there, I'm like, you don't have to do that.
Yeah.
Like, you can rock with whoever you want to rock with, because you're not from any of these cities anyways.
The thing is, though, that objectively, doesn't it take a tiny bit of the passion out of it? Because like when I went to a basketball
black
game.
people,
Right.
So that's my thing.
I hear you.
It's like, I just care about the black people. So when Pogba and Lukaku and Rashford were all on Manchester United, that was my squad. I didn't give a fuck. You couldn't tell me nothing. Like, that's all I needed to know. And when they were gone, then they're not my squad anymore.
Right. Okay.
But yeah. So if you're passionate about black people equally, I get what you say. Like, you do need,
because that's part of the fun.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's like elements of that rivalry. I think that was kind of the thing that I found was a little bit weird when I went to a basketball game. Bearing in mind I only went to one. Mm-hmm. I've watched a lot of it though. I went to a game and it was weird how relaxed it was, and how like people mingled with each other. Right. But then like obviously the passion comes right at the end if it's a tight game. You know what I mean? If someone scores does a clutch, then it's a madness. Right. But like sometimes like in this moment, just this moment, it's us against you. In a productive way, feels right.
Yeah. On the flip side, like my story of going to my first ever football game, which was the Manchester United game that I took Joke and Enge to, my experience was, wow, this is weird to me, because the opposite of what you're saying. Like, we go to sporting events to have fun. It's a celebration.
I hear you.
Right. Motherfuckers walking that stadium, it was like a business. It was like yo, we're here. There's people aren't hanging out at the bars and not tailgating. It's like everybody was just there to either be mad or like very. It seemed like really they were just there to be mad. And like they're mad walking into the stadium. That's true. Like they're mad walking into the stadium.
Yeah, but you're in America, like, you're going to the game, the sun's shining, I've been to an Orlando game, bro. The girls in that one stadium have been the best looking girls I've ever seen in my whole entire life in any football stadium. The sun's shining. Big man, have you ever been to Barnsley? Oh my lord. There's no reason for you to smile walking into that stadium. It's cold. You're wearing gloves. It's October. It's just, come on, man. Like, we have to be angry. We have to.
Yeah.
But channeled anger is not too bad.
It's good. It's what makes the game different than everything else. And I love that part of the game. And I want to tell that story too. That's what I do want to tell Americans about. You know what I'm saying? But I also at the same time want black people to. I just want us to look at it, concurrently on the other side, and also look at it from the other perspective. You know what I mean? Because these teams, these leagues, these media outlets, they're making so much money off of this stuff. You know what I'm saying? And they're pitting us against each other. Bro, these owners, we're fighting each other. They're business partners.
Oh yeah, that's
they get money together.
Yeah, no, I hear you're coming.
They're business partners. They walk in the room, the owners, they walk in the room and they're making money together. You know what I'm saying? So it's like
that's why they're able to almost call like the NFL in particular have been able to just call big shots where, see, like the Colin Kaepernick thing. Right. Everyone was like, all the business owners, they all knew each other and that. They're like, yeah, do you know what? Don't sign him.
Right.
Everyone just don't sign him. We're going to just stand here and just leave him.
Right. Meanwhile, they're trying to get their fans all riled up to fight each other.
Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah. That's crazy when you look at it like that, Yeah.
Nah.
And we're dumb enough to fall for it.
I'm
gonna keep falling. Arsenal got them on Sunday.
Hey, I'm going to the game. You
got tickets?
Yeah, I just got tickets.
How you get tickets?
Yeah, go on, man.
I'm deep out here, man. It's like my first radio play.
You chat to them.
By the way, I asked them too. I said, we're recording a pod today. What should be on the menu? And someone tweeted me and said, listen, Chucks, I know you stay clear of football, but I have a theory on a light one. Rashford is having woman problems. Last time he was sulking on the pitch, his gal left him. Rumours. He's doing it again. Remember, he's 25. Testosterone. He's put the Telegraph emoji. Add 300k to the mix. So I think he's basically saying the reason why Rashford is playing the way that he is at the moment is Gaz left him.
But he's playing good.
He's got left him summer though.
Yeah, but he's going crazy.
Well, there you go. Well, there, yeah.
Stop Rashford abuse.
Is he doing good?
Brother, Rashford is going crazy. Stop Rashford abuse. I'm having it.
Yeah.
I give abuse when man are mucking up. And when they're doing well, I say allow him. Rashford is the only thing at Man United that looks good right now.
Yeah,
That's the only bright spot.
He's lightning. He needs to pass a little piece, but he's doing his thing.
I wouldn't pass if I was him as well.
I actually heard on this
is
podcast, you guys,
crazy.
when he did that thing for the kids, you guys were calling him the Prime Minister. Is that right?
I mean, I was calling him a dinner lady, but yeah. I guess the whole...
You got straight.
We always give Rashford straps.
Absolutely.
He deserves it.
But yeah, man, listen, love for coming through though, bro. Really
My
appreciate
pleasure,
it.
man.
Really
My
appreciate it. And as I said, if there's anything we could do to add value, let us know.
Yeah.
Poet.
Fuck Russell Brand, man. Just fuck him, dude. That dude's a creep. He's a creep. He's a bona fide creep.
Go.
I gotta say that on the cast.
Go. Why?
I've actually been following him because he's just really fucking smart.
Yeah,
So,
that's why I follow him as well.
like I've always been very interested in him, and I've watched his YouTube stuff, and I've seen him go down this. He's on this, Joe
Conspiracy
Rogan,
kind of
conspiracy stuff. When this shit came out, to me, he's had this plan all along, because he uses, from my perspective, this is my read on the situation.
Right.
Is like he's been using his platform to basically create mistrust in the mainstream media.
Right.
For when something like this comes up, when he knew this shit was coming.
Right.
He's been accused of all this stuff. He left Hollywood. He planned himself out in the middle of nowhere, and he's been just sitting there. He's been very intentional to not try to connect it to anything mainstream. He's just been on here, and the last like year and a half, 2 years of his podcast, all he does is try to sow, seeds of doubt in the media and these conspiracies and things like that. And then, of course, when he gets accused, that's the first thing.
That's the thing that he reverts back to.
In his defense,
he was planning that.
In his defense, though, like if you watch, because I used to watch his stuff when he was at MTV, I was gonna sign to an agency that he was in, and one of them said to me, like, one time he's come to an agency, come to the meeting to sign to this massive agency, and he goes, "Look, you lot, I'd love to have this talk, but there's a march I really need to be a part of." So in terms of like being a rebellious act to some of the things that the government was
He's always
doing,
been on that.
he's been on it from early. So
It's a tricky one with that, purely because it's in all of the stuff that he says about the establishment, he could actually be very well be right.
yeah.
But also on the flip side of it, if that is your history, then even though you are unveiling elements of what's happening right now, which is a part of history too, for how we've even got here, I could easily see how the establishment would say, "Oh, we're having a look at our history, are we? And how we got here. All right, let's have a look at how you got here then."
And the truth is, like,
Do you understand what I'm saying?
And if someone calls him a creep, it's not like you can't go, "No, he's not."
Right.
Because even if he doesn't do that stuff, he's still a creep.
Yeah.
Or was a creep, or whatever it was.
Because you look at elements of his behaviour and you can say his behaviour sometimes has just been a bit nuts. But then, remember, because my argument has always been there's so much for and against. It's like, taking that away, with this happening and the allegations coming out, and remember the allegations we don't really know, it's like all of these stances have been made from a business aspect. What actually is the right thing to do based upon an allegation?
Yeah. So the first thing is like, are they going to actually arrest him and try to try him? Are these women that came out and made these allegations? Because my thing is, if you're going to make that allegation, then go down to the courthouse, get him arrested, take him to court, and have it play out. You know what I'm saying? Because if you're not going to do that and you're just going to take the payout, then then that's your thing. You know what I'm saying? But my thing is like he's clearly a little bit creepy, and so for Aaron Dolores, I'm not gonna put my reputation on the line to try to defend him.
No, right, I hear you.
because he's just collateral damage.
I hear that.
I fully hear that.
Like,
Fully hear that.
hear that still.
There's so many other
Yeah.
causes, just causes of people that literally, you know, you got motherfuckers that went to jail for 50 years didn't do it. Like, there's so many other, you know, causes that you could put your name, you know, for and say, we need to stand up for this. I'm not gonna stand up for this dude. You know what I'm saying?
Do you know what the thing is though? I think, and I hope this is a little bit clear. It's not even the argument that I was bringing up, or the conversation I'm bringing up, is not so much him. It's the protocol. Because remember this
Or the lack of
protocol,
protocol.
or the lack of protocol.
Yeah.
Because remember, this could happen to anyone.
Yeah.
Really, true or false. So, could we universally agree on a protocol or a lack of protocol that should happen?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? On an allegation, can we?
100%.
Which I think
Otherwise,
is which I think is the difficult conversation to have. But sometimes you can't have that conversation without some people being emotional. Rightly so. I can understand why it would trigger people in being emotional. But sometimes being emotional isn't always where you get the best solution.
Yeah.
Well,
But sometimes
I
being
look at it like this though, especially when it comes to these cancel culture, like, you know, white people getting canceled because they said racist shit, or you know, these type of allegations. Like, we're coming from a history where people were getting away with this shit for
Right.
2,000 years. So at the modern time that we're at right now, like, yeah, some people are gonna have to go down because it's gonna be messy in order to try to clean up all the dirt that was getting done to women in the last 200-300 years, forever, right? So I look at it, it's the same thing for, you know, for black people trying to, you know, fight back for, you know, trying to stop these racists and like, yeah, some motherfuckers are gonna, they might have said something and it was hard. Some people are gonna have to go down. There's gonna be collateral damage when we're trying to, you know, right the wrongs of the past. You know what I'm saying? And there's women for years that have been getting raped, abused, and you know, and that was the culture. That was the look. You can go back and watch TV in 1980s, and they're making, you know,
Jokes,
rape
bad
jokes.
jokes.
It's
Yeah,
like
big
shit was
facts.
bad. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
Isn't it a fine line though? Because you're right. There's going to be collateral damage, but that collateral damage could be you.
yeah. I don't think it's gonna be us though, bro. Like,
Never
because-
know. You see, right now, someone could say something. Someone could.
Yeah.
You just never know.
The way
That's
this
why
is-
That's why I'm asking the question about the protocol.
Yeah.
Not so much him. This is the base of it, and obviously it's a big talking point. Yeah. But if we're digging deeper, if we're gonna dig beneath the surface, what's the right thing to do?
So here's how I always look at it too. Like, I like to think about, when people talk about cancel culture, I just like to think about, what house are these white people sitting in? Like, did they come and take Russell Brand's house? No. Like, okay, they demonetized your YouTube. Like,
They could take that could take his house though.
if they take him to court and things get proven, and then essentially that he, you know, he deserves whatever he gets through the courts. But he's fine, bro. He's okay. He's still in a very beautiful house. He has his wife. He has
Even
his
if he,
kids.
but the thing is, even if he goes court and this is why you can't win, because even if he goes court and he busts his case, the reality is the stat shows that more often than not, men beat cases.
Yeah, it's very hard to prove, especially when you have money.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
What's the right thing to do? Poet, have you got howlers?
Come on, fam. Russell Brand has. Look, some of the howlers this week, I sent them all over to you, EA Sports, right? So you can put them all on screen. Life is funny. Life is really, really funny. The first one I'm going to put up is someone came to me the other day on the street and said to me, Poe, you're always talking about cheating. And I'm like, yeah, because there's so many layers to it. There's so many different directions you can go in. I find the motive for cheating is always different. I find cheating very, very interesting. And then I saw a man that came back from the army. He has his missus. He has his child. And we've all heard this story of the man that goes away and goes to war and the missus out here smashing the neighbour. I mean, the neighbour's in close proximity, I understand. And maybe you might forgive the neighbour. But I'm going to play a 1 minute video. Sometimes they're too long. This one's just a minute. I want to know, would you forgive this? Because I hear everyone always says, you motherfucker. How about you, father?
My wife is cheating on me. while I've been away serving my country, protecting...
Just to give it some context, everything he's saying right now from this video, his missus has a blindfold and headphones on, and they're not Beats by Dre. This is bad.
Oh!
So she doesn't even hear what he's saying to the camera, but the child does. I feel this is child abuse, but it's white people.
If he's cheating on me. While I've been away serving my country, protecting and providing for my family, she's been sleeping with another man in my home, in my bed.
Who's the man?
So the surprise today is I'm getting a divorce, and I'm taking my son with me. It was my stepfather. My stepfather is the father of that child.
Close America for 8 months. Aaron, you can come and chill here for a little while. Close it.
So yeah, is it too much? No, not even close.
Stolen land, that's what you say, right?
Stolen land, bro.
Take the blindfold off.
Doc!
You can get a lawyer.
We gotta fight this out in court, okay? If this is what you want.
Yeah, we'll fight it out in court and everything you did.
I did it because of how you are. Look at you. John was there for us. You were not. He took care of him. He took care of me.
It's his grandfather. Are you crazy?
What's wrong with you?
What's wrong with me?
Yes.
What's wrong with you? His grandfather?
You never
My
cared.
father?
You left us. You never cared.
Put your father in the video too, man, player.
Crazy.
That is
Way over his father in the video.
crazy.
That is.
I don't know, but I've never seen this problem in any other country other than America. Anyway, why else should we close America? I knew Aaron was coming. I said, let's have a Let's Close America for 8 months special. There is a man. Do you know what? I'm just going to play the clip. I just don't even need to talk when it comes to these things. Sorry, actually, maybe I should just say what's on the screen. I want to play a video. The writing on the screen says, my daughter was a victim of an online predator. She's 11, he's a grown man. He manipulated her into sending pictures of herself. This was the police response at midnight. We called at 6. So they're 6 hours late. And can I note that the police are not racist anymore? This was a white family.
So what? Wait, and at this point, there's a young girl in the yard.
There's an 11-year-old girl who's sending pictures
Allegedly.
as she's being manipulated by a grown man. They phoned the police. The police have arrived.
You're not playing the video.
Am I not playing the video?
Yeah, play the video.
I shall. The police were 6 hours late.
No. I know, a nice crispy Sprite could be.
Oh, you know what? I always want Sprite. I haven't done Sprite since I was like a kid. Good that you say that.
That's the police just chatting. Irrelevant combo.
Especially the y'all Sprite.
Oh, you know what I do? Do you ever see that Sprite challenge? They drink a bottle of Sprite trash burp.
So they're knocking at midnight for one.
Alright.
Yeah, she's in bed now. It's asleep.
Well, it still happened though, right?
Yeah. I just, the whole point, I just wanted you guys to come over and talk to her. And I just want her to realize what this was. I mean, in reality, there's not much you guys probably can do about it, is there?
I mean, she could probably get charged with child porn.
Who, she can? She's 11 years old.
She's creating it, right?
She's 11 years old.
Doesn't matter.
She can get charged.
No, she's not. She's being manipulated by a grown-ass adult on the
Is she
internet.
taking pictures now?
You guys have a nice evening.
Okay.
Thank you for coming. Are you serious? Have a nice evening.
So let me get this straight. This
Hang
is what
about.
happened. Because what other country does this happen in?
Wait, explain this.
I'll explain this. There's a man at home with his missus and his child has sent pictures to a grown-ass man. The girl was 11 years old. Clearly she's been manipulated by a grown-ass man. If you take a look at the case we were talking about earlier, Russell Brand with a 16-year-old girl, manipulation, there's a problem. Now we've got an 11-year-old girl. So in England, we make a little documentary, Russell Brand's probably done. In this country, you phone the police, they're 6 hours late. First of all, don't knock on my door at 12 o'clock midnight. Don't. Phone me. Delivery even have to message me. Don't knock on my door at 12 o'clock midnight. Secondly, I come to the door after you're 6 hours late to tell you that my child has been manipulated by a grown man online. And your response to me is that we can charge the 11-year-old with creating content of...
Outrageous.
What? No.
Outrageous.
Enrageous. It was on the net. It wasn't outside. It was inside. This stinks. Close America for 8 months, 2 days. Aaron, why?
But you also have to point out the entitlement of the father that wanted the police to come lecture his daughter, though. That's not the police's job, bro.
He wanted the police to come there to chat to his daughter about
That's what
sending
he
the.
said. He's like, oh, she's in bed now. I wanted you to come talk to her. So he's calling the police because he wants the police to come scare her into, you shouldn't be doing this.
Oh my god.
That's a
Close
level
it for
of
9
entitlement,
months.
though.
Close it for
9 months.
the time of a pregnancy. You're right. 9
Close it
months.
for
You know,
9 months.
the pregnancy for an elephant, 10 months. This is disgusting. But it doesn't stop there. And Aaron, I want you to come and stay here because you don't even need to be involved in this. But I watched a tweet from DJ Vlad, and this is the howler. I want to know, does Vlad have the howler, or does Nicki Minaj?
Vlad?
Yeah, he's a howler anyway. But this point he's making here about characteristics, I'm going to read it out. I would like to get you lot's opinion. Nicki Minaj's husband is on house arrest for threatening Offset. Right after that, she previews a song on IG saying she got killers who will pull up and do what she say. This was the same Nicki who threatened to send her husband to Academic's house for her comments about her. For his comments, sorry. This is the same Nicki who told Meek Mill to have his crew beat up Quentin Miller, who now has a prosthetic leg, I feel, which then happened. Have you ever heard of a woman scream, "My man will fuck you up," over something she started herself? That's Nicki. If you want to see how these stories end, check out my interview with Travis Rudolph.
I followed that case.
After an argument with his girlfriend, she sent her brother and 3 other guys to shoot up his house. One of them ended up dead. Another one got shot. Travis was charged with murder, which he luckily beat in trial due to self-defense. To all the men out there, I don't care how fat her ass is or how good the sex is. Avoid women like Nicki who use men as crash dummies like the plague. I said what I said. You actually typed it, DJ Vlad, but yeah.
I hate that I said what I said at the end. I hate that. He's a grown man.
Yeah,
like, don't do that.
I love this. Like, Nicki is a real one. This is why you should love Nicki Minaj. Like, you want rappers that actually do shit like this. That's what
you want. Like, what?
We need more.
Close America and put Aaron in there as well.
Yo, she's the fucking best. She's the best female rapper right now. Like, she kills everybody. Like, I don't listen to her.
But that doesn't.
She has more bars than everybody, and she's really from the streets.
No, I hear all of that stuff.
I'm happy about that. I like this. I want more. I don't condone the violence part, but I want more artists to be real motherfuckers. Like,
I hear you, but this is my problem.
Go on.
Quentin Miller. Meek Mill versus Quentin Miller.
That stinks.
Yeah.
That's like me versus Tiny Boost. It just doesn't make any sense. This is one-way traffic. There's no need for Meek Mill to beat up Quentin Miller, where right now he's out here walking around like a pirate.
And
this doesn't feel
and you
right.
know what? On top of that, I would feel sorry for Tiny Boost. So anyway, continue.
I would say Tiny Boost allow me, man.
I'm joking.
No, but
what
John
is Vlad trying to do right here? He's like trying to air out a bunch of he said, she said bullshit to.
But even the Offset situation, I don't know if you lot are familiar with the Offset situation, but Nicki Minaj's husband and his friends went to a part of New York that Offset apparently lived in and said, we're outside. My brother, you lot are 40 plus. 40 plus. 40 plus going on the net, doing this, saying we're outside with 2 other of your guys. I'm not suggesting that you can't beat them up. But for me, in England, I have to be honest with you, Aaron, it stinks.
I'm going to be honest with you. I think Vlad is right.
It stinks.
I'll tell you why. Because often,
yes,
you do find that there can be sections of women out there that, because what it is, they have someone around them who is like certified on the streets and whatever, which is good to have sometimes, because sometimes you need that. You know what I mean? And women do need that sometimes, because you don't want a man violating and whatever. Brand. You understand?
Exactly.
I'll take him out of the equation. Yeah. But I think sometimes what happens is when you have the person who has the strap or can move a certain way, sometimes people abuse that. And if you are creating stuff yourself, if you're creating these problems or you have certain beefs with people or whatever, you have to understand that when you are sending people out to go and do X, Y, and Z, something really bad could really happen. And in this case, I followed this case, this Travis case,
Did you speak about it here?
I talked about it here.
Yeah, that case is crazy.
In this case, it's a bit different because she called her brother. But she's had a situation with her boyfriend. She's got highly emotional. She's mashed up Travis's yard. By the way, bearing in mind, at this point, like, this woman she was already married to somebody else. But, okay, there's nuances in that anyway. Apparently, they're breaking up, whatever. She's checking Travis. She's upset that he's checking another woman. She's blown this thing up to the point where she's now gone to her brother and said, you know what? Because she knows her brother's a rude boy. She's like, you know what? Go down there and go and handle that. But what ended up happening was, what did she say he went down there.
She said Travis laid hands on her as
well.
Yeah.
So she tried to say that he slammed her on the ground or whatever. So what happened? He went down there, and what do you think happened? Travis came out with the big 4-5. Yeah, the big 4-5.
He came out with an AR.
What? Yeah, he came out and let off. What? How many did he let off? Like 49.
30 something.
Yeah, something mad.
47, something like
Yeah, licked down the whole
You gonna
thing.
look up the number right now.
Yeah,
number.
but it can happen. But it can happen.
Okay, listen. This is some sexist bullshit because
39.
this is why
39 shots.
this is some sexist bullshit right here.
Go on.
Because this is why you like Tupac, because they would run up on beat up motherfuckers. This is why you like.
No, that's not why I
this is
like
why you
Tupac.
like Vibe
No.
Cartel. This is why
No.
You, this
No.
is why
No,
you
you're
like,
correct. No,
this
you're-
is why
no.
you like Jay-Z and his because
No.
all the men
No.
bro like this too, bro.
No,
Whitney Miller.
that's not why I like
why
them.
You like Meek Mill.
No.
Miller. I don't even like
Wait,
Meek
how
Mill.
are you telling me what I like and why I like them?
Men get glorified for this. When it's a woman, we're supposed to hate on it.
No, I
No.
would say, bro,
I'm not mad at
in this, no, forget this, yeah. Bring this into the same studio and ask me the same question with men, and I will tell you exactly the same. If you are if you're a good you're a guy, you're a good yeah. Really in your heart, you're not really about that, but you got a bad boy brother, and you go out into the street and you take this because you know your brother's a bad boy, and you go out and you start carrying on with the foolishness, and then you go because of that now you know you can send for your brother. If your brother then gets licked down, do you know what I'm going to tell you? Good.
Right. Yeah.
Good.
No, and I didn't
Because you're stepping out on road with this mentality of, well, my brother can defend it for me. Right. It's like, I hear that, but you call for that when you genuinely feel
There's
like there's
no
a big,
other solution.
Yes.
I hear you.
But if you're doing it just because your brother's a bad boy and your brother then gets licked down or his friends get licked down, then you just have to just deal with what you deal with. And I would say that for any rapper, for any guy, any girl, any mum, any dad, any father, any dog, any cat.
Yeah, and I didn't mean you. I'm saying society in general. We glorify like who's the hood British rapper that everybody loves because you know the stories from when he ran down on somebody back in fucking Piccadilly in 1998.
Can I just? I got a rebuttal.
None of them were Quentin Miller.
You see here, we don't like. Maybe the young bucks do. It's a certain young buck. In fact, I would say the country bumpkins are the ones that actually glorify all of that. Us that come from a certain place don't really look at shit like that too much. You see, like Giggs is a person that everyone knows for being a street don or whatnot. But do you know why people respect him? People respect him because he was trying to break away from elements of that to do music, and the whole system tried to shut him down, and he prevailed. So that's why we hold Giggs up to the highest degree. But we also understand that no one can be naive to the fact that they come from a certain place in a certain environment. But I wouldn't, me personally, I wouldn't hold him to the highest standard if I just found out that he was like bullying people or doing bully
Giggs ain't
tactics
like
and
that. Giggs is not on a
we don't respect that. Country bumpkins do though.
Yeah.
People that live in Scunthorpe and Gravesend and all that type of stuff, they love all of that because it's a movie to them. But this is their real life.
Yeah, I mean society in general. It's like we want to watch Top Boy. We root for the bad guys.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'll be honest with you, I love some smoke in a film.
Scorcher, bring him back, man. I hear you.
Hey, have you watched Gangs of London? You'll see a whole load of
that show is
crazy.
Right,
that is crazy.
That shit is crazy.
Wait, did you watch first season or second season or both?
I haven't watched the second season yet. I'm gonna start.
First season is violence to a whole nother level,
and it starts.
Everybody,
it kicks off. Man, get kicked off.
When the Nigerians had the motherfucking
yes,
that shit was crazy. I'm like, this is on television.
Great.
Right,
and you know what, Aaron? You know what?
That's on television.
I never saw Police. You know. Can I just say, I never saw Police in Gangs of London.
All these shows.
But hear what I'm saying. Do you know what? To be honest with you, see that? I loved it.
Yeah.
Oh, I loved it.
One thing I wanted to say, because I just watched the new Top Boy season. The dude that wrote that is an Irish white dude.
Yeah.
And
he killed off his people.
Here's my one problem with the show. My only problem with the show. I love the show, but my only problem with it. And how I know that a white dude wrote it, because they only wanted to show black pain. There's no black joy. Where's the scenes? I just want to see the scenes where the niggas are chilling, having fun, doing their thing, being happy. Like black people, like we're not just always mad, stressed, doing dirt, fighting, shooting each other. I want to see a scene in every fucking episode of black people just fucking out at the club, hanging out, celebrating, doing our thing. Like,
but didn't Sully?
There's no black joy in it at the same time, and I feel like it's hard to really get behind the characters and care for them, because you're not really getting to experience like the joy and the human side of them. You know what I'm saying?
Like Sully, the only time I ever felt like any sympathy for Sully was when I see him walking his daughter to school. But barring that,
Right.
Was it?
and I reckon
I'm sure he lipsed up one woman in the thing on the lake. Remember he had that. That was last season.
Well, this season we weren't listening to no one. Like even the girl in the house tried to text him like, "Yo, stay in." Yeah, we can't do that. And next time he's texting it on a mad thing. So do you know what? I hear you, and I'm sticking to
I
it.
just want to see the joy.
But he did kill off his own people very early. If he's Irish, his brothers lasted an episode and a half.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
And I even thought they got killed off too quickly.
Yeah, they
Brother, I was like, this is too quick for
They
him.
never really kind of like made that story tie together at the end with the.
No, the story. It was a bit of a mess towards the end, to be honest with you.
Sorry, I just got distracted.
But
with a text saying
yeah, I have to. I've got to fly. Brother.
Well, I'm getting a new iPhone. I got a text about it. So.
Oh, is it? Yeah.
Yes, titanium feels right.
Strongly.
Get that right now.
What? Like a little promo thing. Boom. Pod. Step
Mind
up.
your business.
Come on, my G. Alright, love for coming through. Yeah.
I appreciate it, brother.
Yeah.